Coach Massi here from Massi-Machado Strength and Conditioning, and this is another episode of Move Your Feet. This is the video series where we examine how you manage your anatomical components in and through space, with and without resistance, at game and life speed performance. And today we're going to be answering one of our viewers' questions. So today it says, Coach Massi, recently I've been watching your lateral movement videos, and I have a lot of questions. First is, do you have a particular intervention that will keep people from bouncing during lateral shuffling drills? Aiden Radnio, Seattle, Washington. Well, thanks for that question, Aiden. And I see you have a few more questions here, and I'll try to refer to this if we can get back to some of those other ones. But we'll start with that first one. When you say to keep people from bouncing during lateral movement drills, I think what you're referring to is the phenomena of bobbing. And yeah, that can happen. We do see a lot of that. And it's a changing of levels, but it's an unwanted changing of levels because it can really affect ground engagement, and it can affect how you use those ground reaction forces to help propel you in the directions that you want to go. So it can be counterproductive to the movement. We want to kind of help you work away from that phenomena of what you said, bouncing, but we call bobbing. So we're going to head this way. We're going to keep it light. We're going to bring Chris Sika in. He's going to help us demonstrate a few simple interventions for this phenomena that you talk about. First thing is, you always want to go back to ground engagement. You want to go back to understanding how your feet come into contact with the surface. So we're going to have Chris kick his shoes off, knock them back, and we're going to go and progress through some interventions that are going to help with this, okay? So the first thing I think I should explain is, this is our high-low drill. And you should also know that in certain sports, there are going to be times when you do need to change levels to get a better perspective for the field of play. And in life, you have to change levels to get a better perspective of what you're trying to observe. But there's a difference between maintaining positive ground reaction forces and how you utilize them and translate them, and your level, and how that translates to what your desired result is. So if you go too toe dominant, you start to kind of compromise your balance points, and you're not going to be able to change directions quickly. You're not going to have great spatial orientation. And obviously, we want to always feel like we're on balance. We want to be on balance in movement. So there's a difference between being high, trying to gain a perspective, and between being tippy-toe and not having any balance. So in our high-low level drill, we're just going to basically try to make sure that everybody can move in a higher plane, and then when we say low, into a lower plane. What's really nice about this drill is it's a verbal cue, high, low. Then once you progress, which will be in other videos, you can start using verbal cues to say high, low, and then start directional cues just by utilizing visual cues. So first thing we got Chris, shoes off. You're going to just explain to him the difference between high and low. Christopher knows the difference between high and low. So we're going to start very simply. We're going to take a Miniband, and we're going to give him a little bit of proprioceptive feedback on his lower kinetics. His ankles. He's going to go right to his ankles. Got a little bit of resistance there, okay? So before we even take that off and take that away, we're going to take two of these PB Superbands, and he's going to wear these. And the reason we're going to have these in place is we're going to attempt to manage the high-low level change and mitigate him potentially bobbing while we work on posture by a slight tug here. Because when I tug here, he's going to want to sit back. Proprioceptively, he's going to attempt to self-correct, okay? So here's what this looks like. So we're just going to go that way in high-low. You move, I call high-low. So let's start in high. Ready? High, low, high, low, and rest. Good. Now, as we come back, we'll do the same thing again. I'll give him a little more tension. He's going to fix his posture, give me a little more height, so you can really tell the difference between high level and low level while he's maintaining that great ground engagement and utilization of ground reaction forces. Ready? And high, low, low. There you go. Good. Now, take those guys off, and we go to nothing but the band. Now, I'm out of the picture. I can observe. I can have a bunch of athletes, clients in a row, and tell them, ready? High, low, high, low. Stop. Now we're going to tell him, maintain power pillar. Don't let your heels click. Let's start by practicing that shuffle spit. So make this leg come in first. Stay a little wider than usual, because if he brings this foot first, he'll kick his leg out. So let's start back foot first, and high, low, high, low. Good. So now he's getting it. That's cool. So now what I usually like to do also is I like to get one of these PP balls, and I like to take the upper kinetics away. So here we go. You're going to hug that ball. Now it's going to assist him also to maintain posture. Perform the drill. Set. Get underneath it. Underneath it. And high, low, high, low. Coming back. High, low, high, low. Good. So as you can see, he's now gaining a degree of mastery. Looks good to us. He's able to do that upper and lower kinetic. Put it together and move. Now we're going to bring in some biomechanical reactivity. This is where it can get a little tougher. So we got this new Tsunami speed bar, and you can see it's highly flexible. Okay? The reason I like this is it offers a degree of reactivity that you really can't produce safely with anything else. So Chris is actually going to take a little breather here, and then we're going to load it on his back. When he loads it on his back, because it's a parasagittal load, and it translates down to his quads, hamstrings, glutes, it's going to help him have to manage that reactivity coming from above, and the ground reaction forces coming from below, and it helps him to build better proprioceptive, spatial, and balance awareness in movement. So we're just going to give that a shot now, Chris, real slow. Keep that band on. He's going to backload this. Now, before you even go anywhere, before we do anything, you're going to want to have him pull his hands in as close as possible here. When he has his hands in really close, it's going to allow for more reactivity out at the end of these bars. You could set the weights in, but we haven't set all the way to the outside because we wanted to give Chris a little surprise. This is actually Chris's first time utilizing this particular speed bar, and we're going to turn him now. We're going to perform the same drill. So he's going to line up over there. The only cue I'm going to give him here that's a little different now that he has the bar on his back is I'm going to want him to pull down on the bar the whole time, because by pulling down on the bar, it's going to lend a better reactivity on his upper kinetics, and it's going to translate to him having to manage that reactivity through the ground reaction forces when they meet in the middle. Lower reactivity from the ground reaction forces, upper reactivity from that Tsunami Bar, and it will eventually build a very positive biomechanical slot that helps him to be more agile and maintain his winning angles. Okay, now, pull down, and we're going to be high. So ready? High, low, pull, high, low, and rest. Okay, we're going to let him rest there a minute while I talk. As you can see, I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing with you. As you can see, it's challenging. Okay, and why is it challenging? Well, like I had spoke about already, the reactivity out of that bar is something else to manage. But the good news is he manages these different types of reactivity and reaction forces. It's just going to help him to find it more fluid, because we like to build athletic fluidity also. He'll be able to move more fluidly when he has nothing on him, right? Now, the only thing I'm going to tell him next, when we go back into this drill coming the opposite way, is maintain the width. You know, a couple of series back, or I should say episodes back, we measured up what we call the power pillar. We talked about making sure you have good, positive, strong pillar as you move, no matter what, because we don't want to do what we call come to zero. At 0 or less than 0, I don't know of anything really good that happens unless you're skating and you're crossing over. But this is not skating, this is moving in a drill. So once again, let's give it another shot. Chris, you're on for going back, and he's going to work this bar. So pull down on the bar, and high, low, high, low, finish. Ooh, right at the wall. That was pretty awesome. Now, lastly, what do you think we do? We strip it all away. We just strip it all away, and we have him do that drill again. High, low, high, low. Then we start working him high, low, with our fingers. So as he's catching our breath, I'm going to give you that little cue that we're going to give him. We're going to give him verbal, and we're going to give him visual. So Chris, all we're going to do now is I'll say high or low, you maintain and you react to that cue, but I'm also either going to give you left or right, which is just going to be visual. Ready? Here we go. High, high, low, low, and rest. Now, still has his shoes off, not bad cuts, not bad directional changes, for nothing but socks. But once again, Aiden, thank you very much for your question. I see you have a series of questions here, and I love it. So do me a favor, Aiden, or anybody else out there that wants some more information about things like this, things about how adapting lifts for athletic performance, things about how to better train your clients, your personnel, you just tell us, and actually, you know what, email Perform Better. If you want staff development, if you want to learn more about our speed and agility seminars, email Perform Better, tell them you love the videos and you'd like to have us come out city near you. In the meantime, you can shoot us an email if you'd like also. So once again, Coach Massi here from Massi-Machado Strength and Conditioning. We'll see you next time. Thanks.